Okay, it is 1 o'clock. Not on the agenda is a pledge of allegiance, but let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
I thought Erin was going to be here. She said
She said she would zoom in. I could,
okay.
I'll text her and remind her this meeting's on.
All right.
Our special meeting today, the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the path forward as an interim executive director and executive secretary positions and possible action on the expansion of hours for Patty Knoll, Aaron Sevilla, and Travis Merrill. In light of that, I have to announce that our temporary executive director, Allyn Dec, had passed away on Sunday. So our condolences. We all are stunned and still at a loss, but we've been working at this for a few days to try to gather what we can to make the adjustments that we need to. So with that being said, we will move forward. I don't really know quite where to start. I have been working with Patty and Travis at first right off the bat, and also Aaron. We met with Aaron yesterday to try to see what we can do to catch up. Our first priority was to get our vouchers done, get everything done, and then we can start doing the things that we're supposed to keep the transaction going, which so far that's good. I got a hold of Ryan yesterday for the inspection, and everything looks okay. So we're moving forward.
Right.
You know, with
regards to inspection, there was 4 or 5 points we made. The rest of these 3 of them so far, and I'll take care of 2 more. So
yeah, the only question he had was the radius, the 100-foot radius, but I told him about the BLA and the vacation, so he was good with that.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yep. Greetings, Aaron. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Aaron. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and also Aaron has been working with the bias, our bookkeeper, I guess is what your title would be. So she has stepped in and helped us make the adjustments that we need to as well. And thank you so much for coming out yesterday and helping us and getting what we need to done. Everybody's been really stepping up. Thank you.
It was quite a day yesterday. I left there being like, okay, we're good. Everyone's stepping in. It's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Travis and Patty, for stepping in.
It was a good day, productive day.
Yeah. So with that being said, we do have a lot that we need to cover, in particular for our Monday meeting, and that is executive director position eventually. But right now, we just need to put out the fires that need to be put out, keep going with what we need to do. There has been some discussion about Patty and, your position, Travis, your position, what you want to do. I think obviously we need to talk about increasing your hours and all that too. John, Ted, anybody want to chime in with thoughts, concerns, what you want to see next?
Well, I'd like to start both Commissioner Ted and Commissioner Judy with the really big step being forward that Patty and Travis did after we lost Larry, and then both of them really truly wrapping their energy around Leanne. And now with the loss of Leanne, again, the big shoes that they're putting forward with the last few days. I came in here yesterday and they're all over it. Aaron, thank you too for that. So I would like to open it up with a few things that I believe is the direction we need to go. I don't like the word Band-Aid, but in moving forward with what we have and what Patty and Travis and Aaron are already doing, I like to formalize this in some manner. I'm not entirely sure what that looks like yet. I've given this a lot of thought, but for starters, I'd like to start with a question for Aaron.
Mhm.
Okay. And Aaron, I mean, you've been doing our books as a bookkeeper, you know, and got wrapped around it pretty quick in a short time working with Leanne. But can we see that role? Why we break this down into smaller chunks between the roles and responsibilities with Travis and Patty? Because there was a mix of Leanne was doing certain things, giving you information you needed. Can you see yourself going beyond that and doing all the accounting until the dust settles? Like, and you know,
Yeah,
paying the bills, making sure you're proactive and helping Patty know what it is you need and Travis as well. You see yourself like really stepping up even more in the next days ahead?
absolutely. So I think we had already planned at least for January, and I don't mind it even going forward. I'll be on the billing and make sure that gets out on time. And then all of the AP, payroll, and really anything that you need, just let me know.
Okay,
I'm here to help in any way possible. Leanne and I did have many conversations. She had told me that were happening and things like that. So any way that I can help, I am here for. And however much time you want me to put in, I will be putting it.
okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Aaron.
And then Patty and Travis, do you feel like that under the circumstances that both of you are really, because we got a team here,
Mhm.
so
We do.
you feel
Yeah.
like things gelled pretty quick. I mean, like
Yeah.
in short
Yeah,
order.
there's gonna be a bit of an issue for me going forward, unfortunately. I mean, I run a
business.
north of $500,000 gross a year business,
Yeah,
and it doesn't, that machine isn't oiled without me.
yeah. So that's helpful.
And that's I mean,
Yeah.
before this situation happened, I mean, I was very on board and very, dedicated to what you had already prescribed for me at 40
Right.
hours a month, because I could fit that into my schedules in the
Okay.
morning. But going forward, if I'm losing 4 hours a day because you need me to continue to file through all of this and get things organized and make phone calls constantly and get the port where it needs to be, I'm gonna have to change the compensation from the port.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
But in moving forward, what you've been doing prior to our tragic loss of Leanne and filling in, that was working.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's an important part of this puzzle.
Sure,
When we're
and-
trying to consider what we have and what we want to work with
Yeah.
and what they're both bringing to the table, right? So that leads me to discussion of Patty in particularly and stepping her up
Yeah.
into a more significant role.
Yeah,
That's what.
she has a full-time job too, right?
I do have a full-time job. However, I work remotely
Mhm.
and those hours are adjustable,
Good.
completely flexible to my needs.
Okay.
So I'm in control of that environment completely.
Because you work remotely.
I do work remotely and I control my hours.
Okay.
So
My only issue is that I have a retail business open from 1 to 9.
Yeah,
And that's why I need my hours to, I mean,
like
I
that.
have people that I can bring in to work my role, but they're going to require
Charge you.
parts of my pay
Right,
in order for my machine to continue to operate the way it does.
Right. And we have a
So-
budget while we're trying to make this
Right.
work. So I would completely respect
Sure.
that, you know.
And I can adjust to working for the port more hours. It's just I won't be able to without that balance and compensation that allows me to live the lifestyle I've continued to live.
Right.
So
Commissioner Jackson, I wonder if he wants to chime in.
yeah, but I had some questions.
Oh, sorry.
I see it, Ted, just a minute. But that's something that, this is kind of just a hump to get over. I don't.
Sure,
necessarily
yeah,
think
it's just a
gonna
hump. Exactly.
Be forever, so I think we can manage to work through that, because we're not done, we don't need to negotiate that right now, but I think we
Right.
will.
We do have to keep it on the mind because I mean, I've given my whole week so far and I'm
Absolutely.
continuing to do so. But going into the first of the year,
Agreed,
I
Yeah.
definitely have to start making some considerations
Yeah.
because it's
Well, I think it's something that we could probably manage, but again, we'll talk about that more.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
Ted-
realistic. for
yeah.
sure. Different
Ted,
responsibilities.
did you have some comments? I'm sorry.
No, let's just try to boilerplate what those hours are gonna look like. And then let's get that, the fast track on starting the search for a executive director.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would agree with that.
yeah.
A couple of house keeping things that we do need to do, just to make sure. With the Kitsap Bank. Matter of fact, this needs to go in the minutes. With the Kitsap Bank, just to verify, to maintain that Ted Jackson, Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Sheridan are on the signees for Kitsap Bank. And we wanted to add, did we want to add Patty to it then? Patty Knoll, because we should have one other person, not another commissioner.
I would suggest, Patty.
Okay. And then we need to remove Leanne.
Correct.
And I think Larry was already off of that.
He is. I went there yesterday,
Okay,
but Leanne is on there.
okay.
Okay.
So we need to vote on that and have that in the minutes. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we put Patty on there and as part of the digital signatures with Commissioner Jackson and myself. And remove Leanne from there,
Okay,
because that's what the bank needs to hear and see.
yes. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And then there's a special purpose voucher signage that we need to get signed. Is that
I-
here?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
So I've completed that. Ted, I'll need to get together with you on this to get your signature as well.
Okay. If there's somebody going to be in the office tomorrow, I'll be in there, and I also,
Be
Yeah, no,
available all day.
Yeah. The office will be staffed between 10 and 4 tomorrow.
okay, great.
thank you for taking care of that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so,
Good.
all righty. So that's some of the housekeeping that was the most critical. So I guess the update are the vouchers pretty much together? Because normally those get out today.
No later than tomorrow.
Okay,
And actually Aaron has the majority of things. We were able to get almost everything together yesterday.
wow,
Yeah, we worked really hard as a team, all of us.
okay,
And yeah, she has all the documentation and we've been following up today, taking care of some loose ends, and we'll send in emails or whatever we need to do.
okay.
So
Generally,
Yeah.
we get all of the vouchers for general fund, for water fund, and for payroll.
yeah, those will be all available.
Yeah.
That should be done, right, Erin?
Yes, so I've got everything entered into bias. I just haven't sent it to Mason County quite yet because I wanted to make sure nothing comes in between today and tomorrow, I guess. And then I will send it to her tomorrow afternoon, and I'll have all the paperwork ready for you all to look at on Monday and sign.
Now, the other things that we usually get are the minutes for the month of December.
Right, so we, I found all copies of the minutes for the open meeting and this one special meeting in December. And I have those ready that I can add to an email if you'd like.
Yeah.
To provide to each of you individually,
Yes,
so that you have that information. I know that there's always a packet that is made up for all of you
mhm,
to prepare for the meeting. That of course will be in there, and everything else I can think of
Okay.
okay,
between now and tomorrow.
okay, great,
For,
great.
for the meeting coming up.
Correct, for the
Yes.
open meeting.
Got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Including getting the open meeting agenda to our website developer so that they can post it and make a call into the Mason County Journal,
Yeah,
as well as looping Dietrich in for that as well, so that everybody kind of gets it where it goes.
yeah. Travis, thank you for getting that done. Really appreciate it.
There's
yeah.
there's one tiny deadline coming up. The Clean Vessels Act grant is due on the 10th of January.
Oh,
And I've got the process started for getting into what they call the PRISM system.
yes,
And I've created an account today. Takes a couple of days for them to send me a password.
okay,
But once we have that, that is where they want it submitted. I think it's new because of the entire packet of old grant forms is all in paper. And it doesn't say anything about the PRISM system.
no, well, Leanne mentioned PRISM,
Okay,
but she said it was very difficult to get through.
okay. Well, I
So
filled
that
out
might be why she didn't, I
Yeah.
don't.
I felt it literally said in the grant disclosure online that you
Yeah.
have to send it through there.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I went ahead and I got
Okay.
that set up.
okay,
I will harass the person in charge if I don't see something by Tuesday,
yeah,
because we got the holiday on Monday,
Yeah.
but we got at least today and tomorrow for them to process it.
okay, great, great.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry. What exactly in terms of the accounts payable and the payroll do you all, is there a packet I need to put together? Do you just want the listing? What all do you expect on the meeting day with, in terms of that?
Oh,
It's usually a list, it's a voucher that you would send to the county. That's what it looks like. Do you remember?
The listing, okay.
Yeah, do you remember getting the email, I think from the county of a sample of what those look like? That's what those are. And they're,
I could forward the email that they sent you to her now.
yeah, well, I think I did. Well, go ahead
Yeah,
if you want to
I don't see
redo
it
it.
yet. Okay, yeah, I didn't see it being forwarded to her.
Okay, because that's what it looks like. So I don't know where they gather all that information, but that's what has to go down to the county to pay that.
Right.
So
So
they're-
that will go to the county, but what do you want to see?
A lot of times she would give us hard copies of all of the bills. So
We'll have that.
that's usually what she would leave on the table for us to take a look at all the hard copies of the bills.
So we would
Okay.
see,
Okay.
Aaron, we would see a statement showing all the things that were paid. And then it was substantiated with the copies of those vouchers and things like that. And then in our minutes, we just reference the dollar amount and or the voucher numbers to approve it. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we do here too. So I can prepare all of that
All
for
right,
you.
very cool. All right. So
We just need one copy, Aaron, that we can share amongst the three of us.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So you don't need three separate.
no,
And if you email me one copy, I can add it to the packet that I send with everything else to each of the
Wonderful.
commissioners individually.
Okay.
I just want to say, anything like this that's being sent out, I need to be CC'd on. I
Okay.
need Included on all
Oh.
correspondence that's going on so that I know what's going on.
which
Yeah,
leads us to the
absolutely.
next part of this discussion. I mean, it leads to the next part of this discussion as far as the
Yes.
roles go, right?
Yes.
That's a good intro.
Any other questions, Aaron? No?
I think that answers that. Thank you.
Okay. Copy of all the minutes we have to have. Leanne said she was starting an executive director report. I don't know if you could find that.
I
or
can
not.
try to.
Okay. While we're at that too, a couple of the other things, let's not forget tracking all the grants.
Mhm.
That's really critical.
Mhm.
We were on target for those, but I just want to make sure that that's another fire to put out, I guess. you could
List
say.
and
Yeah.
deadline dates
Yes.
and process steps that we've taken.
Yeah.
Have been checked off, okay?
Yeah,
I know that you're working on that other grant, but just again, that we're all on the same page in each step of these grants, even if you're taking care of it, so that we
yeah, we're all
know.
communicating.
Yeah,
yeah.
communication's the key right
Yeah,
now. Mhm.
Okay, and so John, you wanted to talk about,
yeah, and I wanted to bring it up and also pose a question to the commission. So with it, as an executive director, excuse me, as an executive secretary, can we not authorize the executive secretary in the circumstances to have some of the same authority the executive director interim would have?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think so. Because the executive secretary title is very different than executive director.
It is.
So,
It's an assistant to the director.
yeah,
I mean, I had that role for
yeah,
7 years.
And I'm sure there's clear policies on those titles.
yeah.
Yeah, we even have our own policy. It's like, it kind of is clear, isn't it?
And maybe that's something that we should probably talk to our lawyer about, you know, now that we're able to share all this, we do need to talk to the lawyer about this.
Okay.
You know, and if we need to appoint you as executive director in interim, and maybe you as executive secretary interim, is that okay for right now, or
Do we need
do
that?
you want that? I mean, we need, you've been all working as a team, so I think of time and balance.
I think we can share the office with no one really wearing the pants, but somebody having the hat.
Yeah, we
We get
need,
everything done.
Okay,
So
If
we
that
need-
makes, if that makes sense.
it does, but I
Yeah.
will talk to, I'll give our lawyer a call
Mhm.
to verify what steps we need to do to make sure that you have authority to do your
Exactly.
job.
Yeah, and I had that in my notes. If that was a position I'd have to take, I would need a title with that
Yeah.
authority.
yeah,
And,
so,
and I totally respect and appreciate you and Travis. I mean, to put it on the table, without you, it would be very difficult to move forward. So
Mhm.
I totally respect you. I think even in the couple of days that we worked together, I think we're a great team, phenomenal team. So I appreciate you and
The most I can do is continue to provide what I can do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do have a pretty lengthy track record of success in town.
Yes, you do.
So,
absolutely.
and that's not because someone showed me how to do it.
Good point. Yeah, that's
So-
right.
I see Travis's role administratively doing what he's been doing
Mhm.
without the executive secretary. But the role, the administratively stepping in the shoes, you know.
I would prefer the title I've created for myself as administrative assurance.
Okay,
And then we'll ask, I think we need to move forward and go ahead with, and I wanted to make and without any further discussion, put Patty in the position. We've got to have an authority, position to move forward with all the grant and all the spokes, speaking to the matter directly and indirectly via email, on the phone. We got Jeff carries property, we got all that going on. We got to have somebody that has the authority that we put forward so people recognize that Patty's the person that they can speak to
Mhm.
on our behalf as a commission. I'm ready to move forward with that. What do you think, Commissioner Jackson?
I don't think we need to do that right now.
Okay,
I think what Travis and Patty articulated is the right move for right now. When it comes to grant signings, I don't think we need to go that far right now.
Well,
I think
first,
what we need to do is just get on the fast track and advertise for an executive director and start going there. So otherwise, we're going to have interim, and we just need some permanency.
so if you, commissioners, if you don't mind, I'd like to call our lawyer tomorrow and just get a little guidance as to what we need to do also, just to make sure that, you know, because we don't really know how long it's going to take to get an executive director. You know, I guess that's my concern, is that I don't know if people are going to be jumping at this at what we can afford. So,
right. I don't want to be in a hurry and be desperate to find an executive director full-time. That's why I'm trying to put together, at least I want to make a motion. We can even do it the next meeting. That's
Yeah.
fine.
let me
Yeah,
call the
go ahead.
lawyer. If you guys are okay with me calling the lawyer to get a little advice, I'd like to
I'd like
do
that.
that.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, great.
Can I put my 2 cents in here?
Yeah,
I just really think it's important that we present ourselves to the community, that we are moving forward positively, professionally,
mhm.
that we have all of our ducks in a row, and that we're ready to continue moving forward.
Exactly.
And that we're just not sitting idle. I totally understand what you're saying, Ted, but at the same time, we're a port and we need to have some type of authority to continue to move forward and to represent our community.
You know, one question I have, is, okay, to this point, one, I've been working with the director to a point, and then when I became interim director, been, communicating back and forth, emails and all that. What's my linkage going forward?
Right,
Exactly.
It will still be the executive, I mean, even though you'd be temporary interim, whatever you want to get called, she's got to be our point of contact.
Right, but you need to have that set up. And
Yes,
documented,
yes.
Because it's
Absolutely.
communicating with the board, because
Right.
there's no other option.
no, and we need to show strength and decisiveness, but the phone call to the attorney will readdress this. I have a feeling, I know
Yeah.
what direction this is going on our Monday meeting.
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
No,
sorry.
it is
No,
Monday.
And a
Monday.
Monday,
Monday. It is
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
That was
so
the first.
So
Okay.
Jeff, I'm pretty sure, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we need the right verbiage for the motion and all that
That's
stuff,
fair.
that it will probably be Patty.
Right, and.
At least the go-between
the interim.
to spread
Right.
the information.
I sent material the other night.
Yes.
To, I mean, CC you, but I sent it to Leanne.
Yeah.
Because she was the contact. there.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
And that was appropriate, yeah.
Having no idea what happened, but as far as just moving, keep it moving so everybody's in clear. And I'll get Patty's email, like, people in the loop, but I'm gonna need that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Because we're talking, I mean, several times a week, we're talking
Yeah.
about where I am with the status of this, what we're running into. She's calling me back about
Mhm.
connections and things that are happening up there, so it's already going back and forth.
right. It's a bump in the road, tragic as it was, but it's not gonna be a showstopper. It's not gonna interfere with moving forward. So we'll be doing this again Monday.
Yeah, hence the urgency for this meeting.
Okay.
Just to make sure you guys know you're supported.
And for community to know that we're not gonna waste any time getting ahead, going forward here, forward looking.
Well, we're discussing it. I really, if it hasn't already been done, my personal opinion is the port needs to understand from Ryan Northwest Water what obligations he's been given, because through our walkthrough and inspection of our system, he said something which I wasn't aware of. And I know Leanne was not aware of when I started talking to her about it, we never went anywhere with it.
Okay.
And that is that he was designing a booster for this other part of Kitsap housing, which we found out here in the last 60 days. But something new that came up in that discussion, because I showed him where the connections could be and what could be. And then he raised the issue about another property owner wanting to come in, so a booster may be required for that.
Mm,
And I had not heard, never discussed, publicly or anything. And I'm only aware of one more parcel. And, that's again, a change to how there was originally the port designed a booster, now we're not using that, then they designed a secondary booster for kids at housing, and I'm saying, if you use our system, you don't need it.
yeah,
And now there's another piece of property.
really.
So.
Was this last week?
Yes,
Yeah, a homeowner did come in this week and talk about wanting to get water to some properties. And then the realtor came in after that. And it
Wow.
was just above us across the road.
oh, that's.
Yeah,
different.
if that's different, that's different.
This would have been behind, not higher, again, in the above 140 elevation area of the plat.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's
Okay.
not where this is.
And all I'm getting at is. The port needs to be on top of it, whatever that means.
Yeah,
And. The antenna went off in my mind that next time, I was gonna work with the ad is. What's happening here, because she's telling me what's happening. We've been talking about this issue of the tie-in with the memory care.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the drawings, not being an engineer, but knowing a few things, and I said, we really do need to work the policy, and we really need to find out what they're doing. Because they could have certain water demands that the port's not aware of. I mean, for example, they got a 3-inch feed going through the structure, but they also have an 8-inch fire flow feed. Well, I mean, those are some pretty hefty duty things you need to be on top of. Both reliability wise, as well as the whole effect of the system.
Wow.
And then my question comes to mind is, well, that's gotta look different than your system design. Does that have to go back to your Department of Health?
How far along are they? Do you know? Because I haven't asked the Jamesons.
It says on the website, the permits are ready to pick up
Oh,
Wow.
really?
for the Medicare. But they've been in that status at least for at least 60 days.
Okay.
I have a feeling, but I'm not, it would only, some, it's only a guess, and I don't need to know the airways with guesses.
Yeah,
Right.
But I think there's some other issues, is what I'm trying to say in addition, based upon the questions Leanne was asking me about water usage.
Okay.
And what I see on that print. And what she knows or doesn't know, what I don't know, and where we are in the grand scheme of things.
We got to see what that looks like. Definitely.
So,
Really interesting.
as a side note, I think two things. One is, enough of where, and so many words, put on hold a little bit, until we can get our ducks all in order
Right.
from the standpoint of where we are in designing boosters. But the second thing is, very quickly, somebody should be in contact with, the Jamesons or somebody, the engineer, or if it's right, that's fine. Where is that in the whole scheme of things, and how is that all engineered in? Because, the meter, like for example, the meter is a 2-inch meter. Well, that's a whole different rate than what you
Right.
have that in your schedule. So
right.
that's also affects demand, because how I've been stating that you could probably have a lot more connections
Mm-hmm.
if we went back through the numbers and we applied to the state using my data from our system and applying it to the ports.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got a 2-inch line, all of a sudden your
Yeah.
your maximum data demand
That's right.
would be a wholly different number than a bunch of 3/4.
That's right. Yeah,
So, that's my 2 bits on that, that you probably need to look on that sooner than later.
I will try to contact her tomorrow. I don't know if I can or not.
No,
It'll be in the holidays, but
I'm just bringing it to the attention.
Yeah.
It's not.
and I think what's
It's not my responsibility to do things, but I see this happening and we're in the middle of this and none of this needs to go sideways on anybody.
right.
Or not us, not grants, not anything.
Okay.
Well,
I
and
think
it will
that-
be a learning curve for me because I don't really know where Jamesons are at or what was done. I know it sounded like did they get her a letter of availability? Do you know?
Yes,
I
I'm pretty
think
sure.
so. I remember the name Jameson. When I
Yeah,
went through all the files.
pretty sure.
okay,
So, yeah, there's a water availability to a Jameson.
And that's why I made the comment about what I thought.
I think I need that.
Okay, I'll get it for you. Get it for you right now.
Okay.
But anyway, I just think the important is to get on that sooner than later.
Yeah, because I want to find out too if it is do you know for sure it was a 2-inch main that goes to them?
It all says it's on the drawing. So if they put on the drawing, it's a 2-inch,
Okay,
because that's what's on the drawing. But in addition to the 2-inch, they have a fire flow in there. They have a fire flow connection of 8-inch off your 8-inch going to their property. And I wouldn't have said much because I said, okay, a fire hydrant can go there, it looks like it's gonna go there. But it has a 90-degree off of it going towards the building. And I'm saying, what the hell, why do they need an 8-inch?
So is that a commercial building where they need firefighting systems in there?
yeah, it is a memory care facility.
Oh, we're talking about the memory
Yes.
care.
Take the post office.
That's why.
It's one of the other buildings in town that has the fire flow,
Mhm.
but it doesn't have an 8-inch going into it. But see,
And does it require it, if it's required with sprinklers, the 2-inch would be enough for sprinklers, wouldn't it?
So,
depends how they set it up, but yes.
so Jeff,
Because-
what's different here then? Because we know that the memory care issue was there.
Yeah, but we also know that he was kind of rushing through a few things, and,
Okay.
and that's why we're just double checking.
Okay.
This is this comment I made some time ago, that we need, in addition to whether it's a director, interim director, or what have you, in addition to an engineer, is, and I don't want to be this person per se, I'll do it, out of the good of the community, but it's, somebody has to be looking at this and saying, is this really what we should be doing. In other words, either the expertise has to be developed by the port, or you have to have the ability to get the expertise to look at situations.
Okay,
But we'll get the expertise.
You know,
in
and
there.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying you have to drop everything.
right,
This is something that's been simmering in the back, and but it's there.
okay.
well, and plus we probably better get back on track here, because one of the things that we do want to finish talking about is our active ability to get an executive director.
Yeah.
I think I would like to try to put that on our agenda for Monday.
Yeah.
Start our search. There are many ways to find us, to do that. You can hire somebody or put it out through Washington Public Ports or,
Mhm.
MRSC. So we just need to get a direction.
You could put it on all the available commercial, Indeed,
True.
LinkedIn,
Yeah,
all the various other programs that are for finding people.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
And I think we did go through job descriptions, we kind of tabled everything, but we'll start going through the job description
Right.
again and what we required.
At
Go ahead. No, go ahead,
Oh,
Erin.
I'm sorry. It's so hard not to know with somebody's the delay. At our office, we just hired a new general manager and we went through a company called Prothman and they kind of do all the screening for you and then bring you out,
How much did they charge, if you don't mind me asking?
kind of help go through that process and screen out maybe people that wouldn't qualify. So and they, I think, specialize just in government type agencies.
How much do they charge? Did they charge
Yeah, I
you?
was just going to say, I think it was somewhere probably around 15,000 from start to finish. So it is a substantial cost.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I can't remember who just found one. And it was 14,000. So is that something, we need to discuss that too? Do we try to do it ourselves? I know when we searched for Larry, we did it ourselves. So we can do that. Just more meetings.
yeah, true. But that's okay.
What was the name of that organization?
Yeah,
It's Prothman.
Rockman.
Yeah,
Was it-
PRO. Say what?
Go ahead. Could you spell that, please?
Oh, yeah. P as in Paul, RO, T as in Tom, HAM.
Okay, great, thank you.
That's a lot different than I thought it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Great. That is pretty much, do you want to make any motion about expanding the hours for Patty, Aaron, and Travis? Do we need a motion for that or?
Well, I think we should
Okay.
do that.
Sure. Would you like to do the motion? or-
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to, well,
If I may.
yeah, please do. Because
You'll need to proactively do it because we're already over our 40 hours
right,
at this point.
Okay.
okay,
Because of just going full steam ahead since
Right.
Tuesday.
okay. So, the term I want to use, it just escaped me, but, so.
You want me to help you or you got? it?
No, I got this. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion, that we authorize both Patty and Travis, as with full-time hours as of right now, beginning with, this last week, to include that, because they jumped in there.
Yeah, you concluded as of the 26th.
Yeah, from the 26th of December on, and make a motion to approve that immediately.
Aaron, you wanna?
And Aaron, yeah, to authorize you the hours that you need to do the full accounting responsibility for the Port of Allyn as well.
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I don't know what that looks like, but whatever it takes.
Okay,
We no longer have an executive director pay, and we no
Correct.
longer have a lot.
Talking to Larry.
go ahead, Aaron.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I keep freezing up over here too. I'm so sorry. I think when I initially talked to Larry, it was like between 20 to 30 hours a month, and it has not been taking me that much at all. So I don't anticipate it being much more,
Okay.
Travis and Patty, but I shouldn't be much more than that.
Okay,
Oh,
Ted, do you have a,
Yeah, I'm curious, we're talking 40 hours a week, but when I asked when the office is going to be open, I was told 10 to 4. Are those our hours that the office is going to be open, or someone's going to be staffed there?
good question?
So it would be the hours that the office is open to the public. Sometimes we're in here considerably earlier than that actually working. So if we were working more hours than the actual operating hours of the office, we would log those, of course.
That's,
Yeah,
that would,
so my
that
question
is
is that is the office open to the public at 10 to 4 then?
Yes,
It
Or
is.
those are our hours?
those are our hours, correct. Those
Okay,
are
I know when Larry and I talked about having it open 9 o'clock in the morning. And I know Larry and Leanne were trying to do that off and on, but if those are the hours, then we just need to make it known to the public.
Yeah, and those are the listed hours on the door for as long as I can remember. I've never seen a 9 a.m. on the door. I don't know what the
think it's
website
ever-
says. We should probably check.
I don't think we have ever been really open at 9
No.
because nobody
No.
usually.
I
comes
know
in.
that I've seen Larry in here at 9, but not necessarily that he's turned the sign on or anything. I mean, there might be working hours outside of the normal business hours.
So it's been my understanding that those additional hours were used to utilize things that, whether it be outside of the office that needed to be done, or if we needed to be inside the office uninterrupted to take care of things, since Travis actually works usually earlier hours, you know, it's my suggestion, if he and I needed to have meetings, we can have meetings during that time so that we're uninterrupted and we can cover things, and yet we're still taking care of the community.
It's very, very hard on productivity.
Yeah.
When you're literally in the middle of something and you lose 20 minutes due to,
Somebody coming
being
in.
there for the public.
Right.
Sometimes it's necessary to have us working hours we're not open to the public.
Agreed. So are you okay with the motion? Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay, so moved. Thank you, everybody, for stepping up, stepping in.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you all. We couldn't do it without you guys.
That's kind of covers what is on our agenda. Is there anything else for the good of the order or?
Well, is it appropriate for the good of the order to mention, so Commissioner Jackson, I went to a Kitsap Bank for him to know.
Oh, yeah,
This
please.
is a really positive thing. And because for whatever it's worth, we've had a lot going on and now we're in the know. In other words, Kitsap Bank, our line of credit for 100,000, we only owe $9,500. I went and got the statement yesterday from the bank. And they had to call out the headquarters to get it printed out. It was crazy. But anyway, that is absolutely confirmed, which is
Great.
really, really good.
That's a beautiful thing.
Big relief. Great.
And the only other thing I can think of is that, even with my expanded hours, we will have to have a serious conversation about how I can continue to give you those hours
Okay.
without me losing my financial position.
Right. And we'll see if we need that or not, right?
Right.
Because you may be able to continue the balance that you've had.
Sure.
So we will have that healthy discussion Monday night.
It'll have to occur on Monday.
Okay.
Because going forward, I'm happy to come in here and put my expertise in just getting things done,
Mhm.
but I have to consider my balance of being able to continue to pay my bills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get
And
that.
I think what it comes down to, if I'm interpreting you correctly, is that there definitely needs to be compensation for the change in responsibilities. We're both taking on considerably different work than we were in the
Sure.
past.
I agree.
So I think that discussion, or I'd appreciate that discussion.
We will.
future, which I had expected.
Well,
Absolutely.
maybe I'm being too bold here, but maybe you could do some proposals.
Sure.
At least that would give us a starting point.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Great.
Did you catch that, Commissioner Jackson?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Jeff, Debbie, do you have anything you want to, Deb? Yeah.
All I ask is take into consideration when you make a selection for new director, that you do a background check on.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have to actually ask for their consent for that.
Yeah, but still, I believe if they're serious about the position, that, there should be a background check.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
do no longer have to disclose any kind of felonies on job applications anymore. You have to do a background check to find out.
Right.
Yeah, and we would do the criminal background check as
Yeah.
well.
I
I think,
can do that.
okay, good. And like John, I'm in a hurry, but I'm not in a hurry. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
we don't want to have to go through what we've gone through, like
Yes.
the one before Larry, that was a little rough.
We've seen too much,
Yeah,
and as part of the public taxpayer and everything else, it's
Mhm.
just kind of like.
mhm.
No, I appreciate even stating the obvious, because absolutely, and assure you that we will. We will not. That's why getting it fixed now with the energy that we have here with the team and forward looking, that I don't want to be in a hurry, even though there's a sense of urgency, don't get me wrong, that we do a thorough process here to include a background and interviews, and just everything about that will be proper so that it sits well with the community and the taxpayer dollar that we invest in that person. So
With the comment you said, actually, maybe that's something that we should really talk about, is doing our own search. Putting it out on Free Things, Washington Public Courts, doing the interviews ourselves,
I'd like to start there.
not just relying on somebody to weed them out.
Right.
Because, and I'm like with you, face-to-face time is really critical, because you really get to feel what that person is all about, and sincerity wise, not just what's on the books.
Would it be out of step to request that the office, Patty and I, are able to attend such interviews?
I was gonna mention that too, because to get your input is critical, I think, because we know what is working right
It's
now.
also critical for us to have a work environment that we want to be in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we'll
And
establish a
define
set of questions.
Actually, what the job entails,
Yeah,
to get a real
Exactly.
feel for
Yeah.
things,
We'll
which
establish.
I'm just learning, so.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's
yeah,
a huge learning curve going on for both of us.
all of us, really,
There's a lot that we lost
yes.
with Leanne's passing.
That knowledge. 22 years, by
Yeah,
the way, this
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah.
She was
Wow.
with the port for 22 years. That's her anniversary,
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Wait for the commissioner.
Sure.
Sorry.
She's like, for public comment, which you are doing currently, but I would want to reiterate, when we have great change or great number of things happening like this in all different directions, it's more important to dot the i's and cross the t's than ever before. Meaning, if there's stupid things that that you don't need necessarily a motion or resolution, but you might just do it for the sake of the confusion that's all the fluxes and change right now, so that if somebody raises stink or raises hell about something or what have you, it's
Done
as
properly.
best you can. No human's perfect at it, but the more transparency, the more effort, at least
Yes.
outward, it's clear that you're trying to, gives a different impression to the public, as a taxpayer too. It makes you feel better that, okay, but at least we're trying to get to the different things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you don't, there's different things you don't do motions and what have you, but you're just thinking about all the different things, when you're allocating hours, what you're doing, different things, just, you might, I know we all have time constraints with having, but taking the extra mile and doing that kind of documentation, that approach, especially with the influx that's going on right now, very appropriate. Then obviously with this acquisition of the water system, same thing. In other words, I want as much as it's possible to be, visual so that people see what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
You'll
Yeah.
still have the naysayers, but at least you did it, you give it your 110% effort.
Yes. I take that as a word of encouragement.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great.
Even though we do have extensive deadlines, I think it's really important just to slow down and take a breath too,
Sure.
and take time to make sure that what we're doing is right.
Yep.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Well spoken, Patty.
Yeah. Anything else? Ted, Aaron,
No, I have nothing.
Aaron?
I think I'm okay. Would you, I don't have anything going on Monday. Would you all like me to attend the meeting on Monday or?
Yeah, that would be
Please.
great.
Yes. Okay, I'll make that plan then.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
That would
you.
be helpful for any questions we have too. In person is always nice, and we understand the Zoom. We've all done it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I will be there in person. And what time
Okay.
is that at?
6 p.m.
6
6
yeah,
p.m. Monday night. Okay, perfect.
great. Okay, thank you. I think all our business is done.
Yeah,
So motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So many.